getting here, it's so much bigger than you would imagine. It's like a kid in a candy shop for a climber. You come in and the closer you get to Wadi Rum from the city is like bigger and bigger and bigger and harder mountains. And so you look at all the towers around us, and it's overwhelming for a climber because you just want to get on them right away. The isolation, it's interesting because we're in a town, but there's very basic things here, and you feel quite alone. When I first was asked about coming to Jordan, I was really surprised at Jordan, of all places, and then I'd heard of Wadi Rum through other climbers, but I never really looked into it. And then when I looked into the photos and videos, I was like, wow, Jordan! I never thought that. I didn't find anything like too difficult, but yeah, maybe it feels a bit more difficult than normal. It's just like the style, the isolation, the gear that's sandy everywhere, route finding. Like you think it's going to be a simple route, and then you go up and you have like the route is not as straightforward as you think, and then there's like the anchor points are just little pitons that look like they could pull out. And our first day here, we met these guys in the house we stayed at, and and they said that they got to the first anchor that day, and a piton just pulled out. So we were like, on our first climb, we were looking at the anchor, and we're like, oh geez, can we really trust this? So that's another factor thrown in. It's just everything's a bit more sketchy, I guess. Cool, you can take me off belay, Chavi. So we finally did it after being here for, I think, 10 days now. We've been trying to fly almost every single day. And the guy who was staying at our guest house, he has been flying here for like 20 years or something like that. And he gave us beta on climb and fly on the top of Jebel Rum. So Chavi, I, and Johnny and Chris went all up together as 2 teams of 2 to the top of the East Dome, which Walter, the legendary guy who's been here for like 20-some years flying, gave us the beta to go to the top of the East Dome. So we climbed the Eye of Allah.
I know, hey, it's like, you want to put on these amazing. If you just spread your weight exactly 25% on every one of those edges.
Eye of Allah comprises of a really amazing old Bedouin route, which is Muhammad's route, which is a way to get to the top of Jebel Rum, and it takes the first half of this route and then a small section of climbing to take you through this amazing eye feature to take you to Jebel Rum East Summit, which is where we wanted to fly off. And it's just an amazing kind of easy romp up, good rock, like kind of scrambling with a little bit of rock climbing, and it's just a fun kind of route you can do with your paraglide on your back. You don't have to worry about hauling. The rock quality, because it's a kind of a classic scramble or route, the rock quality is really good, and yeah, it was a perfect route to do together with all of us. But unfortunately, so the climbing was great. It took us a bit longer than we expected, and it was really fun. But we had, again, the desert winds kind of mystified us quite a lot.
We get up there, and the wind's coming from the back. And we're like, seriously, like, of course, like, you know, again, we get to the top and everything's not working out, or like the conditions were just not good. So we were waiting it out, and then Chris was like, I'm just gonna go. And so he was kind of lifting up his glider in different areas, and not the recommended takeoff, but in similar. And each time it was like the wind was coming from different directions, tons of rotor, like swirling around. It was going this way one time, this way the next time, and then back wind another time. And it would switch every 2 minutes, essentially. And finally, he was just like really determined. He's like, as soon as it comes, I'm just gonna go. So he got like maybe like 20 seconds of the right direction coming from like the southeast. As soon as it came, he took it and he was off.
Go for it.
And then at this point, we're all like really excited. We're like, oh my gosh, we can actually maybe get to fly. And then Chavi, he's like, okay, I'm going next. I'm gonna do this, because he's like all about like going when the conditions are right. And once he saw Chris, he's like, yeah, of course. And it was kind of scary because it's like a death takeoff. Like it's pretty much straight down shot. So you call it like a base takeoff. He had a moment and he took it.